weatherman. For those of you that are up right now, hopefully you guys are having a good start to your Friday. To anyone that is waking up, I hope that you have a good Friday. Well, here we are, folks. Again, it's round 2. Hurricane Ian looks primed to make landfall again and has strengthened, I wouldn't say rather rapidly, but for a storm that just made landfall in Florida, went through the entire peninsula, and is made its way back to hurricane status from tropical storm. It's impressive to say the least. If there's any bright side to this, it's the fact that once you get past the eye of the storm on the south side, there really isn't much there. But its impacts, regardless of that, will be widespread. And you can see all the clouds that are being influenced by this as well. You can see them spanning over a lot of the southeast now. I'd be able to show you better if I had the visible satellite, but it's a little bit too dark out to do that right now, so we're just gonna have to work with the infrared here. So here's Ian right now. It's an 85-mile-per-hour storm moving to the north-northeast. This is off the 5 o'clock advisory, and a new advisory should be issued in just a few minutes, actually. But this is expected to maintain as an 85-mile-per-hour hurricane as it makes landfall either just to the north and east of Charleston, or maybe north-northeast of there. We'll go ahead and zoom in on this cone real quick. And it's after it makes its near pass on Charleston, it's going to head towards Florence, and then Charlotte, Winston-Salem. So you guys be on the lookout, because even though this isn't a Category 4 like it was when it originally made landfall, this is still going to do a fair amount of damage. This still has the potential to do a fair amount of damage, I should say. Let's hope for the best, and maybe we can say that we got lucky, but I don't know. The history of this storm says it may yet strengthen as well, so we're just all watching with bated breath here. I went over the impacts last night in my video. I'll leave a link to that in the top right corner here. But basically, we're looking at the final track here before Ian makes its second landfall. And basically, we're gonna hope for the best for a lot of these folks today. If there's any other there's a little bit more good news, thankfully, though, that this area is not as susceptible to storm surges as Western Florida was, especially areas around into the south of Tampa Bay, where, because the situation there was the fact that those bay areas had very shallow water, so only thing we could have happen with those storm surges, they would push further inland. It's not quite like that over here. It's a little bit more elevated. It's above sea level, and the waters are a little bit deeper, which makes for a slightly better situation. I still think there will be problems with storm surge, although it won't be nothing like what we saw earlier. I do think also that there will be a little bit greater of a tornado threat than what we saw in Florida when Ian originally made landfall as well. Again, like I said before, the impacts I talked about in last night's video will be in the top right corner, the top right hand corner of the screen here. But this is just me basically touching base on everything. Just talking at you in the morning before I get ready for work here. Just thought I'd touch base one more time before Ian makes landfall again. We'll get you through this. There's plenty of meteorologists that will be on air, both on cable TV and YouTube. So there will be a few people I even mentioned in the top right corner. But we'll get you through this. Just don't panic, and hopefully you guys are prepared, because I know that this kind of happened last minute for a lot of you guys up over towards Charleston. We weren't sure of the path, and we weren't expecting a mid-level to high-grade Category 1. So You guys are in my thoughts, in my family's prayers, and hope to see you on the other side. But enough rambling from me. This has been Ty, Metalhead Weatherman. I will see you guys probably this afternoon.